Ori.
Ori and the Blind Forest is the first installment in my second favorite game series of all time. In 2015, Ori was released and became the first time I played a metroidvania. I loved the game because of its challenging gameplay, the amazing graphics, and most importantly, because of all the exploration and collectibles.
Gameplay.
Gameplay-wise, Ori, just like any other metroidvania, gives you a set of rules. The height of your jumps, the range of attacks, and your movement speed. However, as you play the game, you gain abilities that allow you a wider range of movement, scouting, and fighting options. The game also allows you to buy upgrades using the light you collect from battling or exploring. These upgrades are incredibly useful as they make Ori stronger in all of their aspects, and sometimes you can combine upgrades from different parts of your skill tree. Being able to swim indefinitely underwater and having stronger attacks at the same time can be quite useful. Ori gains new abilities through these minor spirit trees. Combining bashes, dashes, and flashes allows you to traverse the overworld fast and efficiently.
The Overworld.
The overworld is filled with secrets, enemies, and puzzles. Exploring the overworld is always exciting. Around almost every corner there is either a challenging platforming section, an elaborate puzzle, or a fight with a new kind of enemy. Finishing platform sections or completing puzzles will reward you with energy or life cells, expanding your health and mana bars. Back when I first played Ori, this exploration is what got me hooked. Exploring the beautiful areas in search of secrets are still some of my fondest memories of this game. I was content at the time, having collected all the items, and then I didn't really think about Ori for a few years.
I came back.
I came back to Ori after having not thought about it for a while. And what I faced was not just fun gameplay and beautiful art, but also a story that a younger me had neglected. It's a story of loss and pain. But it's also a story of love and hope. Ori was born from the light of the Great Spirit Tree. As a young, helpless soul, Naru takes you in as their own child. Naru raises Ori until... The spirit tree is dying. This power that used to flow through the forest has withered and left large areas to be overgrown by decay. Alone and weak, Ori tries to find someone or something that could help them. And in their final moments, the spirit tree reaches out to save you. Ori ventures out to the forest Nibel, and that's when they meet
Sein.
Sein is a small body of light who bestows a quest upon Ori. Sein explains that they are the light and ice of the Great Spirit Tree, and that you have to bring the Spirit Tree back to its former self. Together, you realize that you need to restore the 3 elements of light, the elements of waters, winds, and warmth, to restore balance to the forest. The Water Vein, the Gum Seal, and the Sunstone are keys that grant Ori access to the areas containing these elements. The Water Vein is the key to the Ginso Tree. The Ginso Tree used to be responsible for the purification and circulation of water across Nibel. Because of the decay, however, the Ginso Tree is now all dried up. Together with Sein, Ori explores the forest and has a run-in with Gumo. Gumo steals the Water Vein because they don't know any better. Gumo has experienced tremendous loss in their life. As far as we know, Gumo is the last of their species, after the rest of their people were frozen. Ori chases after Gumo and risks their life to retrieve the Water Vein. But when Gumo drops the vein and gets stuck, Ori shows compassion and understanding and saves Gumo. Gumo recognizes this act of kindness and decides to try and help Ori. When restoring the element of waters, not only does the forest become more lively, but you're also able to swim through its ponds and lakes. The Gum Seal is the key to the Forlorn Ruins. This was the home of the Gumon, the same race as Gumo. They were a creative race using the spirit light to create technology. The Light Vessel is a contraption created by the Gumon to power their innovations. However, when Ori finds the ruins, the vessel has lost its place. Because of the corruption of the element of winds, the once impressive residence of the Gumon has frozen over, leaving Gumo as the sole survivor. Gumo followed Ori and Sein to the ruins, where he heard Sein exclaiming their want to honor the Gumon's legacy. This conviction of Sein fills Gumo with determination. He grabs the light vessel, dragging it all the way back to Swallow's Nest, where Naru and Ori lived. Reinvigorating the element of winds allow you to hover and reach new areas up in the sky. At the very peak of the world, you find the Sunstone. At this point in time, Gumo has reached Ori and Naru's home. Using the light vessel, Gumo is able to revive Naru, losing the final fragment of their own civilization in the process. The Sunstone opens up the gate to Mount Horu. Horu is an active volcano, and because of the ruin of the element of warmth, it is on the brink of eruption. When Ori restores the element of warmth, the mountain settles down and the threat of an outbreak is gone. And now you'd think it would be all over, right? You've restored the elements and Gumo has joined your side. But that's not the whole story. You see, while Gumo did steal the Water Vein, he never truly wanted to harm Ori. The true antagonist of the game is
Kuro.
Kuro is this large owl. Our first encounter with her has us flying away after a close call. During the game, she tries her best to stop you by either hunting you down or standing in your way. It is evident that she doesn't want you to restore the elements of light, but it isn't until later in the game you learn why? Kuro, despite being hostile and trying to kill you, has her reasons. We learn through a flashback that she had 3 hatchlings, but as the spirit tree reached out to Ori, the energy was too much for her children. Left alone with her final unhatched egg, she tries her best to protect it. Her motherly instincts trigger as the light of Sein and Ori reminds her of her lost children. As you heal the final element, the element of warmth, Kuro realizes that the light will be reborn and tries to chase you down. You barely get away and now have to bring Sein back to the spirit tree so that balance can be restored. That's when Kuro flashes by, grabs you and throws you back on the ground. Just as Kuro towers over Ori and has captured Sein, Naru, who has traveled across the entire forest, steps in the way. With the worried, loving look of a mother, she embraces Ori. This act of love stirs up emotions within Kuro. She's reminded of the love she had for her own children. She realizes that her and Naru are the same, just looking after their children, and that she herself has become the very thing she saw in the spirit tree. In a final act of bravery, she looks determined to save the forest, her home, for her last child's sake. Gripping Sein in her talon, she brings them back to the spirit tree, once again restoring the balance. The energy exerted upon her as Sein and the tree merge together is too powerful, and she perishes.
In the end.
In the final moments, we see a forest, whole and healthy. Gumo and Naru have become close friends. Ori finds closure seeing the healthy spirit tree, and Kuro's final egg is safe with Naru, Ori, and Gumo, marking the end of a story and the start of another. Ori's kindness, Naru's love, and Gumo's selflessness makes this story intriguing and impactful. Kuro's sacrifice shows how small deeds and strong connections can change your perspective on what's truly important. That's why a small deed like subscribing and leaving a like on this video would be so amazing. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. My name is Turtlekun. I hope you eat some good food, sleep well, and I'll see you in my next video.